trading bell, my heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter.
Okay, I might as well just get to it. My hair needs to come off. If you just log in a little late and you're looking at this, hit the thumbs up button. There's no reason not to hit the thumbs up button. Just so you know. It's the kind thing to do. Share. We're going to go over some scans. I was looking at MicroStrategy because that's in my list of things to go over. MicroStrategy is interesting. Let's look at some seasonality of this one because I want to go back. Let's go back to 2000 where they were first. Kind of looking, I mean, look at January. I mean, for the last 25 years, 72%. It's one of their best months. Let me look at that. Let's look at the chart. MicroStrategy. Let's look at the algo. Seasonally. Last 25 years is a good one. Morning, Dave. Dave, hit that thumbs up button. Morning, Jacob. Yeah, he's fine. Yesterday, just so you're aware, let me make sure this changes. I just want to make sure. Oh, you know what? I do need this to go up a little bit. I'm going to change. Yeah, need that to go up a little bit. Ooh. It can't go up anymore. Okay, that's fine. Dad is okay. Yesterday, I went to an all-you-can-eat out to lunch with a friend, so I had to get off the podcast essentially because, sorry, I was grumpy. I'm grumpy again this morning, just so you're aware. People are pissing me off, man. I don't mind people asking me about, morning, Will. It's Will or Bill. I'm not sure because when I met Bill Murray one time, the Bill Murray, maybe not William Murray, but the Bill Murray of Caddyshack in St. Augustine. He has a bar restaurant that he runs with his brothers at the World Golf Hall of Fame down there. And he was just sitting at the bar and I met him. I said, "Is it Will or Bill?" He goes, "You know." Hey, Bill. So you are the Bill Murray. You are the Bill Murray. But no, I'm just grumpy. It's just, Dad is okay. There's just a situation, so. Aw. My puppies, I would move the camera, but it probably would screw it up. They're down at my feet. Miss Penny may have heard a gunshot last night or something outside. I don't know what happened. We're in the middle of the country, so. Bill Murray. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, there are 11 people and there are 8 thumbs up. So there should be as many people as there are in here. There should be a thumbs up. But I think people come in and out anyway. So yeah, there's a big show, by the way. We're going to go over the rules of the podcast. How I wrote over the weekend about the VIX. The VIX, I mean, it's going to soar. There's a webinar with Steve Kress on the top stocks of 2024 and going over them. I found a great module in the Seeking Alpha app, the stock gainers and losers in the pre-market, and it's actually pretty good. It goes by S&P, mid cap, and small cap, so I'll show you that. Norwegian was upgraded. Ironically, Carnival is the one, and if anybody's gonna bitch about AppLovin, I'm gonna go off on you. Then VST, Palantir, we'll look at those charts because those were down big yesterday. The high flyers yesterday, Kava went down, Sweet Greens went down. My portfolio is riding high because of Apple, and they were just upgraded to a top pick from Citi. For 2025, Tesla is the top pick for 2025 by Morgan Stanley, as well as General Motors. MicroStrategy's down to 364, even though in the pre-market it's back up a couple of percent. But seasonally, it looks like January really good, but they accumulate Bitcoin. Palantir pulled back once the market opened yesterday. It was interesting because Palantir was way up on that one. Quantum computing is in the news because Google has solved some type of problem that would take the computer that Google just solved the problem with. It would take a normal, it took 5 minutes for this computer to solve it. It would take 10 followed by 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, followed by 25 zeros. Years for a normal computer to solve. So, hey, Troy. Now hit that damn thumbs up, douchebag. Who's buying the stock with Eli Lilly down? It's Eli Lilly. We'll go over some earnings because Oracle, C3 AI soared yesterday, and I think it's actually negative today. MongoDB killed it as well. But let's start with some scans to see exactly what's going on. And we're going to look at this. Let's see. Nothing in the core portfolio. We'll look at brokerage holdings. Nothing there. We'll look at Bitcoin and crypto. There's nothing in that. We will look at covered call ETFs. Here we got a couple. We'll call them income ETFs. And QYLE and TSLY. We'll look at leverage or energy names are actually the next one. Shell. We'll put that in. We will put in leveraged ETFs. There's a couple. And they're short. ETFs, SPXU, SDS, TBT, AMDS. The short for AMD, interesting. Vanguard ETFs, nothing in that. Spider sectors, nothing in that. And we're going to look at the watch list. Tech is the only one. TECK. Then we're going to go to index. We'll look at the Dow. I don't think there's anything in the Dow that crossed up. Yeah, and it seems when I joined before 8:30, I don't get as many viewers on here. But just so everyone's aware, I don't care necessarily how many people listen or view. If I were after this, the business plan for this podcast would be far different. The business plan for this podcast is to help as many people as I can understand that stock trading can not only make you money, but there's an art and a science to it, and it doesn't have to be hard. And so I've developed this strategy of mine, the 4-hour algorithm. And I did get a question yesterday from somebody who signed up for the Trendspider. And I don't know why, but now for some reason, I don't have a set an alert for this when I go into the strategy tester. I got to find out from Trendspider where the alerts are, where I can set my alerts for entry and exits in the 4-hour. So I want to know that. But they were saying your 4-hour algorithm underperforms buy and hold when I look at something like Apple. Well, yeah, it does. You want to know why? Because look at this this stock chart. How are you going to, whittle your way around a buy and hold on a stock that's up this much? There's no way. I mean, you can't find an algorithm that is going to fit every stock every time. So I just know from back testing over COVID and things of that sort why it works. So yeah. For our algorithm, it does not I'll address that tomorrow. Background, the 4-hour algorithm. Okay. Yeah. I think for some time I had the DVR turned off by accident, but they can always come in. But yeah. Man, that 220 is going to set up as a nice support level for Apple. I mean, if you see a stock doing this kind of thing, hovering around a stock price, it's called capitulation. And with a good company that's in an upward trend, it should take off after that. Don't know the time frame, you don't know when, you don't know how, but you accumulate things like that. We can try and find something like that with MicroStrategy. Look, if you just put 155 right there, if you put a line across there, where is the actual support or resistance? I mean, your guess is as good as mine, but at 143, it did seem like that's a pretty good opportunity when you go from March until September. in a company that was bound to take off because they're just buying Bitcoin. And look, the MACD is super, super low. The RSI is overextended at, it's oversold at 45. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Here I come. Okay. There you go. Okay. I think I'm still on camera. I try and get them settled before I get on there. Okay, we got 20 people in here. I did the scans. I did everything. Let me open up some of the stories. I do want to open up FinViz. If anybody knows, and I'm going to do later this month, maybe as a Christmas gift, hey, let's do an episode where it's just free. I'm not going to use Seeking Alpha. I'm not going to use Trendspider. Maybe I'll use Active Trader Pro. But let's look at stocks. I got to figure that one out technically. Because I think I will use Trendspider, to be honest with you. But I won't use the 4-hour algorithm. I'll just use like a daily chart. So this is hysterical, by the way. The McDonald's review bombed on Google after United Health Co. I mean, if you didn't see, like I was posting last night, some of the best things that I found on Twitter that, it was pretty obvious that Grimace squealed on Luigi. It was pretty obvious that Burger King said, hey, eat here. We don't snitch. Yeah, they added a community note to my freaking post. So it is what it is. Whatever. Yeah, I was posting that stuff yesterday. That was interesting. But, there might be a day where I think it might be January where I do it, because I may need the M4 chip with a free one. This might be interesting. Let me see. Analyst history, full rating. So he said, sell, hold, sell. And now he's a buyer now that it's at all-time highs. I like Michael. Michael's interesting. He's been really good. I don't follow him, but maybe I should. I don't follow too many people on here, to be honest with you. But that review bomb was hilarious, I thought. Okay, so let's open some articles. MongoDB killed it on earnings. Absolutely killed it on earnings. In pre-market, they are up. They're actually down 8%. God, they were up like 10%. So, earnings snapshot for C3 AI. This one killed it too, and now they're down 6%. I don't know what's killing that. Oracle tumbled. They're down 6%. I think it's a buy the dip situation on that one. Eli Lilly. If you're selling Eli Lilly because for some reason you think that, hey, at 8.14, I don't want to own this one because it was $900 and you're concerned, blah, blah, blah. Guess who's buying it? It's Eli Lilly's buying it. Google just did this amazing quantum computer. Palantir pulled back once the market opened. We'll look at that chart. MicroStrategy. We'll go over that chart. They accumulated more Bitcoin. We'll go over Apple. Apple is a top pick at Citi, as well as Dell. Kava and Sweet Greens pulled back. Palantir was down yesterday. It printed a bearish engulfing candle, which is kind of interesting. Let me see. Did I put in? I don't think I put in anything Palantir. Let me make sure I didn't. Yeah. VST, buy the dip. That's one of the biggest winners of the S&P. AppLovin. We'll go over that one. That one is down, but it was down 14% yesterday. It's down in pre-market as well. I love this. This was a module in the Seeking Alpha app that I noticed this morning that I hadn't noticed before. Is the biggest stock gainers and losers pre-market, which is nice. I don't know if they just added that one in. A benefit of having Seeking Alpha subscriptions. This is a Zoom meeting with Steve Kress, a webinar on the top 2024 stocks, which are up 134% year to date. That's not alpha picks. These are the top stock picks. So he does a top stock picks of 2025, which is coming up as well. And then we'll go over the rules of the podcast because I think some people may not be new. So we'll go over that. Pull up the cues. Larry. Okay, there are 15 thumbs up, 29 people in here. So hit the thumbs up, even if you're going to leave. Even if you just listen to me for 5 minutes and you're like, what the hell? Just hit the thumbs up already. I'd like to see it go to 20 at least. And now if you're new here, what I do is I hit record and I record the podcast. It's a top 1% podcast on Spotify. So I may seem like a douche, but I do have some gumption and some riz, as the kids say. I got some riz. Dow's way down. I don't know what's bringing the Dow down. Let's see if Finviz has anything. Boy, that big red NVIDIA just stands out. Just freaking buy it. SOFI, a group LLC, sold $386 million worth. Palantir, they sold $367 million worth. RVMD, it's medical. They're buying the dip. Somebody's buying it. SSC, Shoe Carnival, Wayne Weaver is buying $10 million of Shoe Carnival. I mean, that's just... Morning, Laurel. What up, Steph? Morning, Mark. Yeah, we got 21 now. 21 thumbs up. So that's good. We should have more. I would ask you every day to go and at least thumbs up the other video that I post. Remember, I post a regular video as well, not just the live one. So if you didn't know, I mean, that may be a good thing. If you go to my YouTube channel, it may be a good opportunity to explain this. God, I need dark mode. Why the hell don't I have dark mode on this computer? But I post these videos. These are the podcasts. And so if you just go here and look at videos, this is like yesterday I recorded this ETFs for 2025, and then I just post it. It's an edited version. It's the shortened when I hit record. And it's taking out like me yelling at the dogs and stuff like that. So, but morning, Leslie. It does go and hit that thumbs up. It helps. I mean, again, I'm not necessarily looking to grow, but I'd like to reach a larger audience just because I think I was on yesterday on Spaces, and there's some douchebags out there. There are some real freaking douchebags out there charging a lot of money for next to nothing. Next to nothing. That's my concern. And you don't have to pay me for my paid newsletter. You don't have to pay me for the tools that I use. You don't have to pay anything. And you can make money just listening to this damn thing. Thank you, Mike. I just, if you want to give a thumbs up emoji, I'm okay with a thumbs up emoji, but the thumbs up is what the algorithm has. But I think if I give it, hold on, let me see. If I give a thumbs up, does it do the, no, I guess the Apple stuff doesn't work unless, it did for a while. It does on my M4. It doesn't work on this. Because, I can do the Taylor Hart thing like that, and then all of a sudden the love thing shows up. But, okay. We're going to start here. I don't think I can show... Yeah, I think I can show Spotfiy here. Let me see. But it doesn't... Yeah. Okay. I have 650. I'll show it. Bum, 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 bum. I don't know why it's showing the last song I played. There was a bunch of pop punk bands that did a tribute to Phil Collins, and Simple Plan did "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" And that's unfortunately, I mean, that's the gayest thing that I've ever heard in my life. So, and it shows up on my Spotify as being played right here. So, fantastic. You can see the podcast that I listen to. There's My First Millions, Animal Spirits, Bad Friends, Compound and Friends, All In, Wall Street Breakfast, Investing Experts. There's my Fire podcast if anybody wants to listen to it. It's not showing up on screen, but that's fine. Smartless, On the Tape, Seven Investing. There's a few, but I don't have any downloaded podcasts. I don't do any downloaded podcasts. Okay. Let me see. Okay. I think we're gonna go ahead and start recording now. It's 8:35. Good morning. Before I start here, yesterday I was grumpy. I'm still grumpy today. It's just a fact of life. Sometimes people wake up on the wrong side of the bed. There is nothing wrong. There is nothing tragic happening. It's just I'm effing tired. So if I respond to you in a very shortened manner, it may be because my podcast has become popular and I get a ton, because I'm wide open, because you can go to Linktree, okay, because you can go here and you can email me and you can contact me, and I try and manage all of the social media accounts for this stuff. It gets overwhelming when you actually have a personal life as well. When I'm in Atlanta, I sit at home. I got nothing to do. When I'm up here, there are a lot of things to do, so I get overwhelmed. It's also the end of the year. I'm trying to set myself up for the end of the year stuff. I have health insurance stuff. I have tax stuff that I have to do. There's a lot that's going on. So if I'm short, I apologize. I don't mean to do that. All I mean to do is portray love and send it out into the universe. So, but if you are someone who annoys me, that's nothing I can do. I'm going to get annoyed by some people. It is what it is. But there's a couple of things I want to go over first. Before we start going over stocks, the first thing is, if you're on Spotify, if you're on Apple Podcasts, if you're on YouTube, go and hit the thumbs up or go and rate the podcast. You can see right here, I'm a 4.8. Why I'm a 4.8? I have no freaking idea, but it does help the podcast. The goal of this podcast is not to become ultra rich, famous, whatever. It's to help as many people as I can just understand that stocks are easy. Stocks are simple. There doesn't need to be any complexity to this stuff. There just needs to be some rules and fundamentals that you will follow based on on technicals and fundamentals of a stock. That's it. We're going to go over the rules of the podcast right now. But if you hit 5 stars and you share it out, it actually does help. So that's my first thing. Any platform that you're listening on, just rate it or share it out to your social media. That would help it tremendously. Now, since there are a lot of listeners to the podcast, let's go over. This is the Daily Stock Pick newsletter. It is from, let's see, last year, December 30th, 2023. It is a paid portion of the newsletter, okay? I don't know if you can read this, but I'm going to go over the 5 rules of the podcast right now, okay? The first one is don't listen to a douche on the internet. And FYI, I am that douche. The rule number 1 is there because you should not be making any investment decisions or trading decisions based on what somebody tells you. And that's the first rule. You should be able to do your own research, understand why you're buying, understand when you're selling. For instance, AppLovin. It was down 15% yesterday. I must have gotten 15 effing messages about why is AppLovin down? Why is it down? Well, go do your own research. There's a douche on the internet who's out to lunch at an all-you-can-eat sushi place ain't going to tell you why AppLovin is down 15%. So don't listen to a douche on the internet. Go and do your own research. And this South Park clip is fantastic. I'll include it again today in the newsletter. The second rule, don't listen to Jim Cramer. We all know Jim Cramer said Bear Stearns is fine. Don't take your money out. It was 0 2 days later. Okay? It ties in with rule number 1. Jim Cramer is incredibly smart. He knows exactly what he's doing. But the problem is when you're on air 5 days a week, I do it too. It's hard. This is not an easy business. So if you say something and all of a sudden it crashes, people blame you. He's just that. So don't listen to Jim Cramer. The third one, you buy good companies with good profits, good products, and good management. That is what the core portfolio is all about. Go down here on Linktree and you'll see Savvy Trader, follow my trade. Okay, when you follow the core portfolio, it's 35 names. These are good companies with good products, good profits, and good management. There are some in there that should be traded, like Roblox, like Cleveland Cliffs. Okay, but for the most part, the stocks in there are stocks that will provide you good returns. And when you look at it, again, we can just compare this 1 year to the S&P. Daily Stock Pick Core Portfolio is up 45%. SPY is up 30%. This is nothing more than 100 shares of each stock when it enters. And when I take a stock out, I sell it. But it's up 30% versus the S&P. I'm sorry, it's up 46% versus the S&P up 31%. So again, buy good companies with good products and good management and good profits. 4, if you lose sleep over a trade or an investment, just get out. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. If you're worried about it, it means either you haven't done your research about the stock or you should just go into VOO. There's no shame in VOO and GILD. Again, if you want to just put it into VOO, you're up 30% this year, 36%, whatever it is. But the whole point of this podcast is to give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. But if I teach you to fish, I feed you for a lifetime. Okay? And rule number 5, don't water your weeds. What does this mean? This means if you're trading a stock on a daily, okay, or it's a long term, so you're on a weekly chart, and it all of a sudden starts to lose and it starts to go down in that, you may want to think about taking your money out. Now, let's use Palantir as an example, because Palantir right now is the hottest stock out there. I think it's the leading in the S&P year to date. And if you go and look at a weekly, yes, it's down. It's down, let's see, 10% this week. But look at that. Would you consider that a loser? I don't know that I'd necessarily consider that a loser. But on a daily basis, if you look at this one, maybe you'd consider a loser. It's down 10%. I mean, yesterday was a 10% swing. Maybe on a 4-hour. Maybe it's looking like a button hook on a 4-hour because everything's so stretched. Maybe on a 65-minute. It's looking like it's turning over. But use your charts and understand when you don't water your weeds, it's not like, oh my God, it's down 5% today, I've got to get out. It means look at the time frame that you purchased the stock for. If it's long-term, go to a monthly chart. Go to a weekly chart. If it's short-term, go to a daily chart. Go to a 4-hour chart. So don't watering your weeds. There's a lot to that, but it's more about portfolio management. Those are the 5 rules of the podcast. Tomorrow, I'll address why some douchebags are bothering me about the 4-hour algorithm. 4-hour algorithm was built around COVID. I will address it tomorrow. Okay? What happened in the market yesterday? Well, we saw the market pull back. It was major high flyers that were pulling back yesterday. We saw the market start out at 525. We closed at 522. That's not a big move. If you're concerned about that, that wasn't a big move. I wrote over the weekend, okay, in the paid newsletter about the VIX, how the VIX was at 11, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was, yesterday it went from 14 to 14. But again, I think it was at like 13. I forget exactly where it was. It's at 14. You can expect a pullback till this one gets to probably 15 or 16. And that's, remember, tomorrow is CPI data. If that comes in hot, you can expect that one to start pulling back. But I'm not shocked that we saw high flyers pull back. I'll go over some of them a little bit. But I did write over the weekend, the VIX was too low. It closed up 11% yesterday. So if you just took my newsletter and said, you know what, I'm going to invest in UVIXY. Okay, UVIXY is a triple leveraged ETF. It's a short on the VIX. Okay, this one got an entry here at 18. It's at 1926. So what's that? Almost 5-6%. It was up. There are leveraged ETFs on the VIX, and when that one starts to go up, you can basically turn it around and use SVIXY and UVIXY. I'm not sure which one is which, but you can figure it out. But look. As the short-term futures go down, this is a short. So as the VIX goes down, this is the one you want to invest in. As the VIX goes up, you want to invest in UVIXY. So you could have taken my newsletter and done that. Even Walmart went down yesterday. Walmart, which is a high fly. Walmart has been soaring. And look at this on the 4-hour. Got a nice little turnover. What's it doing? The algorithm got you in here at 81. Okay, MACD super high, crossing down. RSI super low. It's turning around. Palantir we just went over. Look at this one on the 4-hour. I've got some support levels in there. These probably can be taken out, but you can see that support line right there. Okay, that support line is getting taken out. So it's just the high flyers that are moving. If you are a Seeking Alpha subscriber, I found this cool thing. There is a webinar with Steve Kress today, at 4:00. You can register for it here. Sign up. There's a link there. Just go to your Seeking Alpha and you can sign up for it. It's about the top 24 stocks. So at the beginning of the year, he usually writes, hey, here's the top 10 stocks. This year, 2024, he identified 10 stocks. They're up 134% year to date, significantly outperforming the S&P, 28% return. It's 30%, I guess, from yesterday. I don't know. But again, when they publish this one. But today at 4:00, he's reviewing that. He will have a post based on the 2025 stocks. And you probably want to get it. Now, if you want to see what the top 10 stocks are, there's a Black Friday sale going on. It's for one more day. Get the bundle. Okay, click on the link on Linktree, linktr.ee. It's this one right here. It's the second link. You'll save almost $300, okay? Almost $300 off of the yearly subscription. And I promote the bundle because you can get premium, which will give you the top 2024 stocks, but it will also give you alpha picks. And alpha picks is a curated, data-driven portfolio that provides you a pick on the 1st, a pick on the 15th, and they tell you when to sell. Look at the performance of the portfolio. And click on the Alpha Picks link and you can just read about what you get. How does it work? Who is Alpha Picks for? You can read all about it on this page. Okay, I'm not going to go into detail on it. I'll mention some of the Alpha Picks stuff. But again, everything is over here on Linktree. So yeah, sign up for this webinar with Steve Kress. He's a genius. He's the one that wrote the quant system. He's really, really good. One thing that I noticed in Seeking Alpha when I was scrolling through it this morning too, I had never noticed this before. They have a module in the Seeking Alpha app, and I took a screenshot, 657, the top S&P gainers. You can sort it by mid cap, small cap, and then they've got the losers. One of my most hated ones, Federal Realty Trust, is down 22%. I hate REITs. I just can't stand REITs. I'm never looking for income. I'm looking for growth in the market. And that's just a personal opinion. But that's my opinion. Now, LC, Norwegian Cruise Line, it was upgraded, and so it's up 2%. Now we can go over here to Seeking Alpha and we can type in NCLH. I wanted to show you a little bit about, well, Alpha Picks picked Carnival. So CCL versus NCLH, we can look at those two and we can update the chart. Over 6 months, you can see NCLH is underperforming CCL. Over 1 month, NCLH is down 4%, CCL is up 4%. So it's in like an 8% difference. So I like CCL. I owned 5,000. I mistakenly bought $5,000 of Carnival instead of 500 to add it to my Alpha Picks portfolio. Alpha Picks just seems to do things better, and the stocks that they get just seem to do better. Now, I'm going to read this statement. Is anyone going to bitch about AppLovin being down 15% yesterday? A, it's an Alpha Pick stock. So please speak up. Go ahead and bitch, because that tells me if you're bitching about it being down, one of two things. Either you're looking at this stock as a short-term stock and you didn't adjust your stop losses, or you just don't have the right time frame. Okay, it's an Alpha Pick stock for me. So my time frame is based on when Alpha Picks tells me to get out. I'm not going to time this on a chart. I'm not going to do anything of that sort. But if you're going to bitch about AppLovin, then you're just not setting yourself up. Because if you bought it on the 4-hour algorithm, you bought it here at $97. Okay? Maybe you did. The algorithm doesn't have you out, even though it's turned over. It was selling at 400 and now it's at 342 and it's at 340 in pre-market. Maybe you bought it on the 4-hour algorithm. Maybe you bought it because, you thought it was going to be in the S&P. Well, that's why it dipped down. That's the only explanation that makes sense. There was nothing in the news about it, nothing. But if you go and you look at AppLovin, okay, we're going to go and look at AppLovin here. Let's look at 5-day. You're down 10%, okay? 1 month, you're up 24%. That's even with the 15% pullback that we saw yesterday. You're up 24%. 6 months, you're up 326%. Year to date, you're up 759%. Okay? 1 year, you're up 832%. So if you're going to bitch about AppLovin, there are certain things that you need to ask yourself. A, why'd you get into it? If you bought at $400, if you bought at $417, why'd you get into it at $417? Did you believe in the stock? If you do, start dollar cost averaging. If it's too expensive for you now and you're like, oh my God, I made a mistake, get out. It goes back to the rules of the podcast. If you're going to lose sleep over this, or if you're going to worry, you just haven't set yourself up correctly. And that's the problem with a lot of investors is that, don't water your weeds. If this is one of your weeds, get rid of it. But don't bitch at me when it comes back with a $500 stock price. Okay, the average Wall Street price target is 322. This one is growing. The valuation is the only problem with it. It is extremely expensive, even when you factor in forward growth. So why is it down? It's down on basically it didn't get included into the S&P, and everybody thought it would. So people were selling it. Am I worried about it? Nope. You want to know why? Because it's an alpha pick. I'm just going to wait for those guys to tell me. Look at the weekly. You don't even have a 200-day yet. Bollinger Bands are super wide open. It could pull back to 220. It could. It could. And if you want to get rid of it, you get rid of it. But there's no news in this. There's nothing that anybody on the internet's going to tell you about AppLovin that says, hey, it was trading at 400. It's going to get back to 400. There's nothing that is going to tell you that. Look at the volume profile of the weeks. Look at how it leads up. That's going to drive a stock price up. So take a look at the stocks that you have. And if one of them is like AppLovin and you want to start trimming, go and trim. I'm more of a buy and hold investor. That's why Alpha Picks works for me. We can look at VST. The VST is the number 2 stock on the S&P this year. The algorithm got you in at 137. It's down to 148. This was down like 10% yesterday. But look at how the MACD has reset. Look at how the RSI has reset. Look at the weekly chart. It still looks good on the weekly chart. Okay, the valuation of VST may be a little bit stretched, but it's power. Okay, Palantir was down. We can go over Palantir a little bit. I think Palantir comes up a little bit later with the engulfing candle. But Palantir is one where it's right on that trend line. This was down like 10% yesterday. Everything that flew up is moving down. And so here's Palantir with a engulfing candle. Maybe people are just exhausted. You have this earnings gap down here at 42 to 46. It could come down there. The valuation on Palantir doesn't make sense to me. I don't own it. But if you're going to ask me how to trade it, I'm not you. I don't own it. So that's where I get kind of, a little bit crazy with people asking me questions. I'm not here to be your advisor. I'm here to help you understand how to look at a stock chart, how to look at the fundamentals of a stock. But I'm not here to say, hey, you should buy this or you should hold this one, because we all have different risk tolerances. So it did seem like yesterday, most of the stocks that had huge year-to-date winners were pulling back. Look at Kava. Kava and Sweetgreens in the restaurant space. It's some of the most shorted stocks. The algorithm got you out with a loss yesterday on Kava. Okay? Sweetgreens, it's turning around. These are big year-to-date winners. Algorithm got you out with a loss. So it just seems, with the VIX being down that low, with some of these huge winners with huge valuations, it just seemed like it was due for a pullback. There's nothing more than that. And we could continue that up until next year. I don't think that the market loved, Trump's tariff stuffs, because tariffs do raise, inflation. It's going to cost people more money to live. If you start putting tariffs on everything that's coming into the country, we have to pay more for those products. The producers have to pay more for their goods. So I think that's just as simple an explanation as it is for anything that pulled back yesterday other than catalyst news like earnings or things. My portfolio's riding high. You want to know why? Apple continues to set new all-time highs. So I'm perfectly fine. 65% of my portfolio is in Apple. I was looking to get rid of it around this 230. I trimmed a couple, but I didn't get rid of it. I'm waiting. I'm hoping between now and the end of the year, this thing stops moving. It was named one of the top picks for 2025 by Citi. You want to know what else was named? Dell. And this one's seen a nice pullback. It's broken that trend line. Where's that trend line from? It's from this weekly, and it's broken that. I think it's an opportunity. Those two stocks are both top picks from Citigroup. In fact, Apple Q4, I disagree with the crowd rating downgrade. This guy says it's a buy, and he goes over the reasons why. I continue to think that this is a fine stock to be as the top stock in my portfolio. It's the top stock in the world. It's one of the most widely owned. This, NVIDIA and Microsoft, they make up a large portion of my portfolio. Again, NVIDIA is not even a top 5 for me. So let's talk about MicroStrategy, because this one pulled back as well. Again, it's a high flyer. Oh, you know what I want to go over? I want to go over a couple of other high flyers. Tesla was named a top pick by Morgan Stanley for 2025. And this is one that has just shot up. Okay, we're at 391. We almost hit 400 yesterday. I think it went to we hit 404 yesterday, 404.80. So you hit that 400 and it pulled back. We're at 391 right now. Is this the start of a pullback on this one? Look, the algorithm got you in at 250 here. Got you in at 217, got you out right afterwards, but it got you in at 250. You should be perfectly happy with this run. Is it a straight up? No. Stocks don't go straight up. Stocks start moving around, and the volume and everything, that the market is a living, breathing thing, and it just moves these charts. But it's named a top stock pick. If we go over to Seeking Alpha and we look at Tesla, what's the average Wall Street price target? We can go and look at this. Let's see. They have it as a hold, and the average price target is 250, and you're trading at 390. I mean, there's 13 that say strong buy, 48 analysts that cover this one, and the valuation, it's absolutely nuts. It's crazy, but valuation hasn't mattered on this one whatsoever. So Tesla, just ironically, this was named again by Morgan Stanley as a top pick. GM was the other one, and that's an alpha pick. And GM is much more favorable on the quant system. And when you look at the 52 range, when you look at Wall Street has a $59 price target on it. That's a 12% upside. I'm not saying that GM's a better car company. I'm not saying that GM's going to change the world. Tesla is. So if you believe in it, you buy Tesla. But if you don't believe in it and you just want to make some money short term, I would say GM's a better opportunity with less volatility. So understand why you're buying things. And that's my point, is when I go over these things, hey, you can ask me about a stock, but if it's not in my portfolio, there's a reason it's not in my portfolio. There's a reason it might be in your portfolio. And that's the thing. Nobody should care about my opinion, because my opinion doesn't matter. You know what matters? This stock chart. That's where it takes all of the emotions and opinions out of everything. It's just a stock chart. So you better know your technicals. You better know the all-time high of a stock. You better know about the, where Wall Street kind of says, hey, this is going to take it to here. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to fix the dog bed as I yell at people. Get under there. Hold on one second. Get under there. Okay, there we go. Now I got to make sure that the camera's back on me. It is. I fixed the dog bed. Sorry, I'm not going to edit that out, because you know what? I'm not that professional. But let's look at MicroStrategy, because this is one that's interesting. I did get out of this one at 380. Looked like I was being a douche and I was going to have to buy higher. Then all of a sudden yesterday, it pulls back to about, I think it was down at 340 something. The low 363, it looks like. Yeah, 363 is where it got to. It closed at 365. In pre-market, you're at 372. I would say this looks like an exhausted stock chart. And I did get out. I didn't time it. I got out at $380, okay? But look at how that MACD has reset on the 4-hour. It's back down at the oscillator, and we could be going for another move higher. The Bollinger Bands have contracted, okay? I want to see where the trend takes this one. It is an overpriced stock. Look at the weekly. Could it go down more? Yes, because the MACD isn't even close to the strike line. The RSI is still at 70 on a weekly. And the Bollinger Bands, they haven't contracted on a weekly. So for me, I'm going to wait. The 4-hour algorithm for me makes sense. Why? The performance of the 4-hour algorithm, it makes you 2,327% versus buying and holding makes you 1,849. I want to know, just like I added to it when it was here at 371, I want to know, or 271, I want to know that, hey, there's another leg up. So when I get another entry into this, remember the algorithm initially got you in at 125. These are just times where it says, hey, you can add to it. Those little blues, because I have an alert set up in Trendspider. And so now that the Bollinger Bands have cinched up here, the MACD has reset, I want to know where we're going, because that weekly scares the hell out of me. Am I going to throw a ton of money into it? No. I'm going to start small like I did, and then I'll start adding as we start to see the trend. MicroStrategy, they just accumulated more Bitcoin, $2.1 billion worth between December 2nd and December 8th. That was when Bitcoin was trading over 100,000. So the average price was 98,783. That's how bullish these guys are on Bitcoin. That's why I hold IBIT. We can take a look at the IBIT chart. The IBIT chart has been the same thing. Look at the MACD. It reset on the 4-hour, but then you go to the weekly, and we don't have a lot of chart to look at on this one because it was just launched in January, but the MACD looks extended. The RSI is at 69. So understand why you're buying these things. You want to trade them and understand why you're doing it. I'm out of it. The reason is the risk profile doesn't fit me. Now, this was amazing. This was absolutely phenomenal. I wanted to go over the Palantir chart yesterday. This is what I wanted to do. I didn't put this in. The Palantir chart yesterday, it was interesting because I had mentioned that it was up while I recorded. It was up like 10%. And what I want to do is look at the 5-minute chart yesterday on this one, because it was interesting. Look at that trading at 82. And then the market opened. There was no news on this, but the volume profile spikes and it just lost confirmation. Okay, that green line is the 9-day EMA, and that's what I use as confirmation. If you want to know what confirmation is, just go to my newsletter. It's in the education section and you can read it. But the 9-day right there, you lost confirmation. You never really gained it. You did here slightly. But would I trust that one? No, not with the 50-day and the 21-day. Everything was moving negative. And so do I trust it now? No, it still looks weak. But it was interesting because I got off the air at about 9 o'clock or so, and it was still strong at 81. I didn't expect this. But if you look at a time frame of an appropriate trade, it doesn't look like it's extended on a weekly. It may look like it's extended on a 4-hour. But if you're looking at it on a 5-minute and you're not trading, if you were trading this, if you bought it on a weekly chart and you said, oh my God, it looks great at 25. And then all of a sudden you're trading it on a 5-minute, that makes no sense. So understand why you're trading stocks. I did want to go over Google because Google is way up this morning. It's up 4% at 184. And I know I had said, hey, this one I'm looking to get out of and I'm looking to sell it in strength. Well, what's it doing? It's covering this freaking gap again up at 183. And so the trading range that I've identified is between 171 and 193. That's just based on previous highs, okay? This one where it pulled back right here at 171 provided pretty good support. It broke down on that support, but anything under here was a buy. It's a good company with good products, with good profits and good management. Again, it's one that I think you could add to as it pulls back. It's got a 17 PE, I believe. Let's go and look at it, some of the fundamentals. I didn't want GO. I want GOOG. Remember, I also buy GOOG instead of GOOGL because when Google actually buys their stock back, they buy GOOG. But here it is. And if we go and look at it, it's a hold in the quant and it's the valuation that gets an F. Now, the PE is 22 going forward. So it's not cheap when you look at the sector at 13, but the PEG ratio with their growth, it's not horrible at 1.34. The sector's at 1.37. I think this is one of the best opportunities in the Mag 7, but, and I say this, but I'm worried about the DOJ. And I'm even though Sundar Pichai doesn't think that the Trump administration is going to follow through with the breakup, I still think it takes their eye off the ball. And I think Gemini has slipped a little bit when I use other AI models. I think they've moved more towards hey, we're going to charge for these features. And so the free people, it's just not being monetized, I think, effectively because I think they're trying to make more money off of monthly revenue versus off the search revenue on an AI. And I don't know the actual monetization of it, but I will tell you, I like Google for the simple fact that it's going to trade here between 171 and 193, and I will probably start trimming it in my portfolio as it gets up to 190. In pre-market, we're at 184. So I'm going to start trimming it. The best model for AI for me is Apple. They're going to sell hardware where the AI models are on the hardware. That includes the iPhone. That includes the Mac, the new Mac Mini that I have. That includes the MacBook Pro that I have. It includes the iPad Pro that I have. It includes the Apple Watch that I have. It includes the iPhone 16 and 17 that you have to upgrade to get to it. So I think the hardware model actually makes sense. I think the software model just costs too much with the data centers, but I do like Google's AI. But as the continued DOJ stuff worries me a little bit. What I saw yesterday was amazing, though. Google rises as tech giant unveils mind-boggling quantum computing chip. So if you didn't know, everybody's doing their own chip. That's kind of the thing, Hey, I got a chip. If the Mag 7 were at a bar and they were trying to pick up like girls, all 7 of them would be going, dude, I got a chip, with a head nod. Dude, I got a chip. That's what they would be doing. But Google yesterday, and I'm gonna just read this off because I don't even know what this number is. Google's new quantum computer can solve in 5 minutes a problem that would take a supercomputer around 10, followed by 25-0, okay? 25-0 years. Years. It solved a problem that would take a computer around a supercomputer around 10 followed by 25 zeros years to solve, and it did it in 5 minutes. The chip is known as Willow. It was an amazing, amazing feat. That's why you're seeing this one up in pre-market, because they may have solved some time on NVIDIA. Doesn't mean that it replaces NVIDIA, because these are two different things. But it means that maybe Google could be the first with a quantum computer. And if you didn't know anything about quantum computers, it scares the hell out of me, because essentially what that means is that it could crack every security for any bank, any password that you've ever had. It could solve everything. It could create a fingerprint of every human within seconds that has ever lived. So it's interesting. That's why I own Google. That's why I'm going to trim Google when it gets to 190. I didn't want to trim it when it was at 170. Now, if you're selling Eli Lilly, you want to know who's buying it? Eli Lilly is buying it. A $15 billion share repurchase. It's up 1.4%. It's not soaring. Again, the valuation's a bit extended. But if you are a person who is selling Eli Lilly, just know the company is buying it back. It's not a bad thing. That means they think, hey, it's worth it right now. It's a beaten up stock. It's down below 900. It's at 814. I would say you buy it. Earnings yesterday. Oracle. Oracle, the expectations were a little high. Let's just say that. Now, I would say this is a buy the dip moment for Oracle. I don't think that Oracle is, oh my God, we're going back to 120. I think it's a buy the dip moment. The algorithm got you in at 192. You're trading at 176. I think I had mentioned yesterday that 192 it's a bit stretch. I mean, if you're buying at all-time highs before earnings, that's a little rich for my taste. And you've got to know when you're buying something that you're buying it. Could it have gone up 10%? Absolutely. But look at that weekly MACD. It's going to need to settle. And where's it going to settle? It's not going to settle in here at 105. I don't think that that's a realistic one. If we were to put something here, if you were just to look at this, where did it take off the last earnings? Well, ironically, remember, we're trading at about 173. Where's that? Is that now support? And that's my point. Is that support? It jumped up on a weekly. This one, the high is 173.94 on that previous earnings candle. Where did it pull back to? 173. That's an interesting support level. It's using that right now. So I would wait a couple of days, and if 173 is support, you could buy at 176, you can buy at 177, you can buy at 180, knowing that 173 has been support. But I'd like you to wait a couple of days. It's very simple. Again, their earnings were just fine. I think they were extended. They made huge AI demand and cloud gains. So the company announced that it signed a deal with Meta for Zuckerberg's led company to use Oracle's AI cloud infrastructure and train Meta's Llama models. These guys are also taking Uber from a server on-premise to a cloud. That's still in the stock. So again, Oracle has a lot of positive things moving for it. I think it's a buy the dip moment. Now, another earnings snapshot. This was interesting. C3 AI. I'm going to look at this one in a, this is the AI symbol. I hate this CEO. But they announced and they pumped yesterday. We're going to go to a 5-minute chart, and I'm going to include after hours, because they pumped right after earnings all the way up to 50. Okay? Where are they trading right now? 38. 38. So it pumped. And you could have traded this one. You could have said, hey, during this time, I'm going to buy at 45, 46, and then dumped it at about 47. Once it started to lose its confirmation. Take some that's what short-term trading is about. That's what pumping is about. That one killed it. You want to know another one that killed it? MongoDB. And I'm going to look at this one as well. MongoDB moves higher after squashing Q3 estimates. Okay, they killed it. Let's take a look at the stock. Because what's interesting is when you go to a 5-minute chart of this one, they killed it and pumped to 390. Where are they trading right now? 323. So even though they killed it on earnings, it's still getting pulled back. The market is expensive. The VIX is at 14. We need some type of pullback. And what you're seeing is even earnings, positive earnings with positive forward guidance isn't doing enough for some of these expensive stocks. MongoDB, we can go and look at the quant on MongoDB. Let's look at the factor. It's expensive. It's 108, 141 times forward earnings. Okay, the growth, impressive, 26%. Or I'm sorry, 22%. Year over year growth. When you look at levered free cash flow, 64%. When you look at the profitability, it's not that great. 74% gross profit margin, but they're spending a lot of money. Momentum, it's a B. I mean, the 1 year performance, you're down 8%. When you look at that, revisions, it's not that great. I mean, 3 up on earnings per share revenue, 4 up on revenue share revenue. But when you look at the Wall Street, the Wall Street price target, it's 363. And this one traded all the way up to 390? 390? That's the thing is, again, there are some that are just too expensive. And MongoDB was one. So earnings today, if we go over to Earnings Hub and we look at Earnings Hub, let's see what earnings today. I think it's GameStop. If you let's sign in here. Let's sign in and look at the calendar because I think it's GameStop is today. Oh, I don't want the promotion. GameStop is today. I mean, this is a company that doesn't make money, but they sold a bunch of shares, so they have a ton of cash. We got Macy's before the opening tomorrow. This one's interesting because there's talk of this one being taken over. There's Adobe. You got Lovesac. You got Broadcom on Thursday. That's huge. Costco and Restoration Hardware. Again, you have big earnings that are coming up this week. Now, scans, let's talk about these. There wasn't that many today. The one in the watch list that I'll bring up is Tech. This is Tech Resources. This is the fake wood stuff. This was a high flyer. And it has since cooled down. You can see earlier this year, this was trading at 38. It pumped all the way up to 53 and has come down. Now, the 200-day is moving down. You can see right there, the 200-day, that red line, it's moving down. You had the death cross and the 50 days moving down. They've had their earnings. I don't know that it's necessarily one that you want to get into, but it's on the watch list for a reason, and it was pumping. Is this one going to pump back up? Well, we can look at the Wall Street. Wall Street says the average price target is 47. You're trading at 46 right now. So it's a 2% upside. Do you want to take that chance? I don't know. I mean, to me, it's probably not worth it. But again, it's in the watch list. It's been trading sideways. If you think that this one's going to get another pump, you can see it's trading along that 50-day. Now, anytime it's been below that 50-day on a weekly, it's been a buy opportunity. So keep an eye on it because on a weekly, this is still moving positive. And so the MACD has reset on a weekly and the RSI is reset on a weekly. Could it go higher? Absolutely. If for some reason we get some type of building expansion going crazy and stuff, yeah, this one could move higher. There's a bunch of leveraged ETFs, some income ETFs in there in the scans. But again, remember, sign up for the newsletter, sign up for everything. Trendspider, if you want the 4-hour algorithm, $53 a month. You go over here to Linktree and you can sign up on there. The Black Friday specials for Seeking Alpha. You get Seeking Alpha Premium and Alpha Pick. Save almost $300 off of this one. If you get just want one of them, you can get one. But all the links are separate. So be sure you click on the link in order to get the deal before you actually sign up. Just go and click on the deal. Alpha Picks, this is the portfolio that I suggest. If you have any questions, hit me up. I am sorry if I am grumpy to everybody. I am sorry that I am bitching at anybody. But life is life. And, again, I'm a douche on the internet. Some people like it. So, okay. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. See you. Bye. Okay. Huh. Smashing that. Thank you, Luis. Eli, Dad's doing well. Dad said he's feeling stronger, so that was when I went downstairs this morning. I put number 4 as my number 1. There's MK. There's MK. She gives me a thumbs up every morning. Morning, Scott. Troy, I disagree with you. MicroStrategy is a great trade. I'm not investing in but Troy, here's the thing. I'm not suggesting you invest and buy and hold MicroStrategy. I am suggesting you trade MicroStrategy on this 4-hour algorithm. You can't argue with it. And if it's a Ponzi scheme in plain sight, just make sure you've got your stop losses in. Rusty, I don't know if there were sounds issues. Yeah, Eli knows about quantum computing. Eli, take a look at what I want you to see about that chip. The headlines are one thing, actually knowing what it does, and I trust you knowing what it does. Is the sound cutting out? The sound was fine in my ears, so it might be the upload. Morning from Lakeland, Florida. That's just outside Orlando, I think, right? Morning, Kevin. Morning, Marco. Yeah, I think it's the upload. You'll have, if you go to the YouTube channel or you listen to it afterwards, I think the sound was okay. The sound on the recording's okay, so the sound locally is good. It's just, I'm on my parents' Wi-Fi, and I think they have Verizon Fios at 300 megs, not my gig like I normally have at my house. So, it is what it is. I think I did a pretty good job of no. Samsung QCOM. No. See your favorite videos. No. Dismiss. There's fucking Penny. Let me open up iMovie and put this in. Put this into iMovie. Oh, I guess I didn't put the green screens in yesterday. Oh well. I was rushed. Let's see what the length is going to be today. 43 minutes. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I hit a ton of stocks. I did hit a ton of stocks.
Good.
And we're going to pull that out.
Good morning.
Okay. We'll put the green screens in. I'm editing the video while I'm on here, because nobody seems to have any questions. I think I did a good enough job of F you. Don't ask me questions. Go and do your own research. I think I did a good enough job of that one. Okay, let's export this. We're gonna export file. 1210 pod. There we go. Do. Yeah, Troy, I mean, re-listen to stuff. I mean, again, if I were interested in actually growing this channel, I'd be doing this a lot differently. I'm looking at organic growth, at just engagement with people and not necessarily listen time. I've got my 4,000 hours. It's already monetized on YouTube. They've kind of told me that I'm an up-and-comer. They have this new thing called memberships that they keep trying to get me to push. And I may, if it gets too big, I may have to push it. But for right now, hey, we got 41 people and 42 thumbs up. Kudos. But I don't think, how do I say this? If I were to get large enough that I couldn't handle the chat, that would be the only reason that I would start a membership program. And it wouldn't be, oh my God, you have to pay $30 to chat with me or something like that. I try and get back to people realistically. I mean, shit, I had 5 people ask me about App 11 yesterday. 5 different people asked me about App 11. Oh, wow. MK is saying it was a really good show. I trust her. Her judgment is usually really good. So I think I'll label this one the best podcast of the year for you to listen to. Even though I'm grumpy. It's a good summary. There's a lot of new people, so. And I'd show you the dogs right now, but. Mike, Bitcoin is in my mind, I don't think it's a can't lose. It could go back down to, say for instance, Trump wants to become, I think in the administration, you've got so many Bitcoin bulls and crypto bulls. I think it's similar. You can't, oh, hey, welcome, Ed. It's 8:30 every morning I start, but I do post the podcast. So you don't have to tune in at 8:30, but just go to the link tree. See the link down below, linktr.ee/dailystockpick. Just go to that, and you can sign up for the podcast on Spotify or Apple or anything like that. There's curated stuff, so it's not like this freewheeling thought process. I think the podcasts are better for people with limited time. So back to Bitcoin. I do think the Trump administration has we're going to make Bitcoin and crypto successful here in this country. And we're going to regulate, because that's what the industry has been asking for, is just to be some type of framework and rules. And I think Congress and the Trump administration are going to work together to put that in place. I think that with MicroStrategy having billions of dollars at their disposal of buying, and I think every time remember, when you buy IBIT, when you buy ARKB, I think whatever ARK is, whatever stuff it is, remember that when you do that, they have to buy Bitcoin. So I think with the ETF system, I think it's just, Troy called it a Ponzi scheme. I think that's what you're seeing, because it's supply and demand. It's really just supply and demand. So, see you tomorrow, Troy. I have not had luck with the AI Strategy Lab, and I think it's Dan Ushman, who is the CEO of Twitter. And if you're not following Dan and you're signed up for you're signed up for Twitter, follow Dan. His name is Dan Ushman, and this is his Twitter. He's the CEO of Trendspider. Incredibly brilliant man. Just incredibly. You may not agree with his politics. I will tell you, he gets a little bit crazy sometimes. And he gets a little bit nuts, but he did post a few weeks ago about the Strategy Lab. And what was interesting about the Strategy Lab that he posted that I was using differently He said, be as open as possible. So think of it as a conversation versus telling the system what you want. And that may get you better opportunities. Like I was telling it, hey, use the MACD, use the Bollinger Bands, use this. And that was limiting my my thing. It's in its infancy, so it's still learning. He had a good strategy with NVIDIA that it set up. Unfortunately, right now, you can't share those strategies. It just creates them. So what's interesting about that is I do think, in my prediction with Strategy Lab, is it will come up with a killer strategy that somebody's going to be lucky to have. And if you didn't know, the AI strategy, it's this in Trendspider, the AI trading models. And you can set up, you can add, I have some models here, which nothing has, 14 signals, cap 11% of them were winning. I didn't get, lucky with that one. This one, the model can't provide enough. The model can't provide enough. And you can build on them. But this is a strategy lab where you just put in a symbol, you put in a time frame, you put in a range. You want to train it on past history, not current history. So like, 2020 is a great one because that was a huge bull market. If we're going to go into another bull market, you can train it on 2017, which was after Trump's first election. And then you train it what to predict in A models and blah, blah, blah. And it just trains it. And then it builds a strategy for you. And so that's Trendspider. And if you don't have Trendspider, you can sign up for Trendspider. This enhanced version is where the AI strategy lab begins. You can't get it on the standard version. But I do think that the AI strategy lab for new people provides such a tool that I think it's going to just blow away anything that anybody's come up with before. And that's my thought. That's just my thought. Let me see what the market just opened up. So let's see my portfolio. I'm looking at it on my phone, by the way, just so you know. I'm not going to show it on screen. I'm not that douche. I am up 0.32. I am at an all-time high. Yeah. I did tell people, by the way, from Lakeland, Florida, I did tell people when I get to a certain point, I found a house in Florida that I really, really love. And what's my gains in? It's all on Google. Wow. Google, IBIT's up. IBIT's up almost 2%. So I will show you if you want to see my my Webull portfolio, which is let's see. Yeah, I don't mind showing you that. That's the Webull portfolio. That is mainly IBIT, NVIDIA, Apple, and a couple of others. I think Spotify's in there too. So the Webull portfolio is fantastic. If you don't have a Webull account and you're not betting on Webull, you're just not having fun. I mean, this is all just, hey, I'm going to just have fun and just, buy a bunch of like shitty stocks that fly and make some money. So it's good. Let's see. The portfolio is made up of, this is where I trade MSTX and MSTR. The portfolio is made up of Apple. I bought one share of Berkshire, which I'm down 1.57% on. I have Google, I have IBIT, I have NVIDIA, I have Spotify, I have Tesla, and I have WGS. Just so you're aware of the dollar amounts, the total dollar amounts, the total position. IBIT is $5,000. And remember, it's $11,000. So $5,000 is almost 50%. IBIT is $5,000. NVIDIA is $2,000. Then next is Spotfiy at $700. And that was a small position. That is up 62%. I only purchased like $100 or $200 of Spotfiy. Tesla is up 74%. It's $500. I'm sorry, in between there, Apple is like $600, but I did buy like $500 of that, so it's only up 45%. Well, no, I bought like $400. WGS is one that's down like 13%, but I only bought like $400 worth of that. And that was just a speculation because I liked what the company was talking about with the cancer, the genetic cancer stuff. And so I didn't want to go in big on that one, but I wanted it in Webull because it's a high flyer. So yeah. It's not much, but it's grown from $1,000 to almost 11,000. Yeah, by the way, my friend is telling me the sound is fine. So you douchebags who are complaining about the sound, you're getting on my nerves. It's your issue. And yeah, my friend is in the data center. So he doesn't have streaming issues. So, okay, I am out of here. It's now, 9:30. I'm going to get out of here. I'm usually on till 10, but I started early. And the dogs are I'd show you the dogs. You know what? Maybe I will. Let me see. Hold on. I got to turn off the tracking. So we're going to turn off the tracking and I will show you the puppies. They're down there. I'll show you my setup just so you're aware. There's the microphone. There's the OBS that's kind of showing you guys. And then there's my iPad. So it is what it is. But it's a good little setup. Okay, and then now I got to mess with the motor on the video. Okay. So if you have any questions, hit me up. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. See you, bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell, my heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading